So this is the fabric I'll be working with. This is a design I want to attach to it. My tape, chalk and scissors. Alright, so let's get into it. This is roughly 5 yards of fabric. So what I need is my full length now. That's what I'm going to measure. Okay, so now this is one piece. I got my full length is the full length I'm working with is 62 inches, and it's quite lengthy, so the table can contain all of it. So now I cut the 62 inches into 2 pieces. That means I have my front and I have my back. Alright, so now this is going to be my front. Alright, so I'm going to mark my front neck. I'm using the whole of this for my sleeve and my shoulder. So I'm going to mark 3 inches. This is my neckline, my neck width. Then 7 inches is my shoulder. Coming down to this point now, to the tip here, I'll mark 1 inch. Then I'll connect it to my neck width. I'll trim it off. The same thing I did here, I also do it to the other part. My neck width 3, 1 inch here at the sleeve tip, then connect it to my neck width, then trim it out. Now the next thing is the neck depth. For the front neck depth, I'll be working with 7 inches. 7 inches. Now the neck depth is going to be the neck is going to be 2 sides, like it's going to have a slit in front. So I'll be using 3.5 for the upper part and the remaining 3.5 for the slits. Then I'll curve it and cut out. Then for this one, which is the back, the depth is going to be 2 inches deep. So this is what I have. The next thing we're going to do to our material now is we're going to hem the sides, the 2 sides up, and also the down parts. So I'm done hemming the sides, the edges, and the bottom parts of the gown. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut out a facing for the neck, back neck and the front neck. I'll start with the front neck first. This is a scrap fabric that I have, like I got from this particular material now. I'm going to fold it. This is my front facing. I'll use this to cut my back facing. So what I'm going to do, this is my back facing, this is my front facing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to weave the sides, the rough edges, then attach it to my gown, alright, to the neck part of it. So now I'm done attaching the facing to it. This is for the back one. This is for the front facing. Okay, if you watch closely, remember I said it's going to have a two-sleeve neckline. One is going to be round, then the other one is going to be having a slit. So I first of all matched my first neck, the round one. Then I made, should I say, a rectangular line from this to this point at the center points. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to slit it open. Here, match the two sides. Then this is what I'm going to be having. So it's going to be open. Right, so I'm going to iron it. Then the next thing is I'm going to be working with a hemming gum to keep the facing together, attach it together with the material to the main dress. Like so. Let's open it up. Before then, I'll first of all iron it. Then I'll now place this inside. shape my dress. I want to mark the shaping line first before joining. Alright, so before joining the two shoulders together, so it will be easier for me. So where my bust is going to be, that's where I'm going to start stitching from. I'm going to place my tape at this my shoulder slope 1 inch below. So this is 10 inches. That's where my start point is going to be. Then I'll place my tape back to my shoulder, mark 16 inches. That's my waistline. Then the next one is 24 inches, which is the hip line. Alright, so now my bust, or the bust I'm working with, is 34 inches. If I divide it by 4, it will be giving me 8.5. I'll be adding 1 inch seam allowance. That's 1 inch for ease, making it 9.5. I also mark the 9.5 to the other piece. Then on my waist, I also impute my waist measurements, then add 1 inch extra. The same thing I'm going to do to the hip. Then I'm going to mark it down. Remember, this is a butterfly. So next, another thing to put into consideration is this is the bottom part of the gown. Alright, to allow you to walk freely, what you're going to do is you're going to mark 13 inches from the bottom part upwards. Wherever I have 13, you mark it. That's where your stitches is going to stop. I'm also going to do the same thing to this other piece. So this is for my front. So now this is the front part of my Bubu gown, or my butterfly gown. So remember I said about this. This is a velvet bias, a shiny one. Yeah, I think I got my 200 naira per yard. So I think it may vary with your location. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to attach this in front. I'm just putting this to spice this up a little. Alright, so I'm going to fold it in this way, then stitch on it on the both sides of it down to the end of my dress. So I'm done attaching the velvet bias to the center part of my dress. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be joining the shoulders together. So this is my front. I'm going to link the back. So I'll join the shoulders together, then we'll shape. All right, so I'm going to join the two shoulders together. So this is it. I've finished joining it, the two shoulders together. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to run a stitch on top of it. Remember, I've already marked the shaping line before joining it, so it's going to be very easy for me to just shape. All right, so that's what I will do. Then our dress is ready.